Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Just chilling. Yeah, I'm about to bring up this topic called council culture. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, King BJ?
Glad to have you back to talk about this topic. I was going solo, but I said let me go ahead and bring you on um to make it a good more panel. I mean, I could have did it, but because I wasn't gonna be on long, but this will make me be on longer. So the topic is council culture.
Mm,
Um, as I've been seeing over the as I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks and months and probably for the last couple of years actually, we've had a lot of um canceling of norms to, I guess that's what we would say, bow down to the LGBTQ tranny bunch. We got a
right.
friend that I'm dedicating this show to for purposes of discussion. I won't be mentioning her name, but out of respect for her, but she had a situation where she came into contact um, with a, I guess a professor about her tweets or whatever, and was asked about possibly being what they call homophobic, which homophobia does not exist. It's called heterophobia. Because I ain't scared of no homosexuals, and I don't think, but
Right.
they probably got a lot more to be scared of us. So that's another story, but as I know that she has been dealing with some issues with that.
That
Um
sound like bully tactics. That sound like somebody trying to bully somebody, ain't it?
yeah, so she's
That's what it
going through
sound like to
some
me.
she's going through some things um that's going like that. But I was a little, feeling, sorry for her, and but I wouldn't even feel sorry. I was feeling angry actually, that they
Right.
would do this to her. She's weak of mind, but she just said that she doesn't want to, let the children be affected by
Mm-hmm.
this. They said that, well, you're talking about them. No, I'm saying you don't need to be teaching my children. Children are too young to know about this. But they're
Right.
trying to teach it in
Well.
school. So the question
Mm-hmm.
in the matter is they always say they're born that way. Well, you can't be born that way if you're trying to recruit. If you were born that way,
Right.
it would come naturally. But as I always say, for every reaction, for every negative reaction, another reaction comes. And we just got to start pushing back on these people. Um, you know, and I just want you to talk about how some of the pushback.
Well, like you said, me as a parent, for number one, those seeds came out of my sacks, right? I'm not gonna let nobody tell me as a parent how me to, raise my kid. For number one, that's number one. You know what I mean? You don't get to dictate and tell me because that's dictatorship. You don't get to tell me you want to have free choice to be able to do what you want to do, but I can't have free choice to do what I want to do. Sound like somebody is trying to take somebody else's rights away and freedom of speech away. You know what I mean? If you got a freedom to do what you want to do and be how you are, I have a freedom to say what I want to say and be who am I. And I'm not saying it in a malicious way. So can't nobody take it as no homophobic or no prejudice or nothing. Because if I want to, if I believe in something that um a certain culture, something that I believe in, or a certain religion that I believe in, that's not up to you to take my religion and my culture away from me.
That's right. It's very
That's
interesting
bully
how that.
tactics. That sound like a bully. If we all got a free choice, that sound like bully tactics.
Yeah,
Even let's talk about it. Since we on this, a lot of these companies and stuff, these corporations, right? Where's the equality at? Like I said, cause a lot of so-called Black Americans have suffered for years of having to be able to change, having to conform to these industry professionalism. You got to conform. You got to come in looking a certain way. You got to trim your hair. You got to cut your beard. You got to You can't wear that type of braids. You can't wear that type of hair. Your men can't wear that type of long type of hair. We up and back in the summertime. We had a couple. Well, 2019 with the young kid down in Houston, Texas. They still got that old system of these kids can't wear dreadlocks or something in school. Now this is natural hair to come out of my head. You gonna tell me that I can't wear a certain hairstyle to school? Who are you? That's discrimination at the end of the day. Now that's real discrimination. When you can tell me as a so-called black man or black woman that I can't wear my natural hair in a certain hairstyle, that's discrimination. Plain and simple.
Yeah, you're right. Now, let me, for the purposes of this discussion, and what she was getting at. Hold on, wait a minute, this tab to load, but it's got a lot to do with that HR 5. No. Well, it might be HR 5. Hold on. Damn.
Is that the Equality Act stuff they're trying to pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're trying to pass.
Okay. HR
Very
5.
interesting. I think it's HR 5. Let's see. I think it is HR 5. Let's see. I call it the Equality Act, but some people call it that. All right. Yeah, it's the Equality Act. Okay.
They might as well stop playing and just go ahead and call it the LGBT Act and stop playing with us. Stop playing these word games, man. We're adults. We get it.
Okay. This bill got 224 co-sponsors too, man. That basically means that almost every Democrat voted for them. But it's a bill in 19th Congress that passed with amending the 1964 Civil Rights Act to prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, in employment, housing, public accommodations, public education, federal funding, credit in the jury system. So this is not about race. This is only about sexual identity. And 29 states have not outlawed to this day anti-LGBTQ discrimination. So that's almost every state. I mean, that's almost, it's about 60% of the states or more have not banned it. Let's see. They say 2/3 of LGBT Americans have faced discrimination. But it would give single spaces such as prisons, locker rooms, and shelters. Some religious organizations oppose the bill, which they say is an attack on religious freedom.
So hold on. You said prison. So now. So you telling me that the women prison system or the whatever you mean to tell me that transgenders are going to be able to go in with the women now?
Yeah.
Is that what they imposing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
If you want to know who supports this, American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, the Anti-Defamation League, Jewish people, Glenson, Human Rights Campaign, Human Rights Watch, Southern Poverty Law Center, the National Organization for Women, the NAACP, and AARP. That's your AARP, this retirement. American Bar Association, Federation of Teachers. It's supported by 180 businesses. Amazon, Google, Apple, Netflix, Facebook, Airbnb, Twitter, Intel, Visa, MasterCard, Hamburg and Finch, Alaska Airlines, American Airlines. I tell you what, that means I might not be on no American Airlines flight no more after I found out they was in on it too, huh? You know, a lot of celebrities. National Association Jewish Women International.
So hold on.
Whoa. Candace Parker, WNBA player. She's spoken for full LGBT inclusion in sports. And that's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. So that means, I guess that means she wouldn't mind getting dunked on by a man, and I don't know. But now check this out.
She already got dunked on by a man. I was playing. Let me stop.
The churches, Espo Church, United Methodist, United Church of Christ, Evangelical Lutheran Church, More Right Progressives, African American Ministers of Action, the Union for Reformed Judaism, Association of Welcoming and Affirming Baptists, United Synagogue Conservative Unions, and Constructors Radical Association, Muslims for Progressive Values, the Hindu American Foundation, and the Unitarian Universal Association. This thing is demonic. So that's a whole lot of stuff I done told you or who support this nonsense. President Barack Obama and Joe Biden voiced support for it. Trump did not support it because he said that it threatened to undermine parental and conscience rights, which it does.
Right.
And Biden says it should be treated with dignity and respect in this bill. The problem with this bill is more so is that you ain't really got presidents that really going for this. This is by some wealthy, rich, white elites in the BLM crowd that's really going behind this nonsense. Let me pull you up some articles right quick because I want you to bring it up. Let me try to get in my Google, and I'm gonna be dark for a second. But let me go in right quick.
All right.
Yeah, I think this should get up here. Yeah, this shit off my screen.
So my question is, if I don't support this, what does it make me?
I think it make make you a homophobe in their eyes, huh?
So hold on. Would it be fair to say, does heterosexual preferences matter? Because if we have everybody have a free choice, does I have a choice to make my choice on, you know what I mean? So you're gonna give somebody other groups that's a specific group of people.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah.
And they come up and say that they can't do nothing for no specific race of people, but they're doing it for a specific group of people. Specifically, is naming them specifically. I need somebody to explain that to me.
Well, you're looking for a big explanation, brother. Cause they ain't gonna explain for you. It's called do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Whoa. What up? I'll put this thing. Man, no, man. Damn. This shit out of there. Here it is. I think this is it. No, that ain't it. That definitely ain't it. Hey, how you doing, sir? No. No. All right, that's good. I'll figure that in a second. Yeah. Let me try it. Oh, whoa. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm just saying it's getting really sick, and you have to find a way to combat these guys because they're getting too inclusive now.
Making a strong move,
But
man.
we're gonna have to
That's
just
a
start
strong
that.
move.
We're gonna just have to start pushing back on them, because they're getting too powerful, and either you're gonna have to start boycotting
Hold on, do I need
companies
to
or you're
turn
gonna have
mine
to do something to
sideways too?
fight these people.
Okay,
No,
I
you
go.
good.
I had to turn mine sideways too.
But speaking of them, since I brought them up, what do you think about BLM getting $90 million and the father of Mike Brown wanted to get 20 million of
Well, if they supposed to be an organization that was for Black lives, right? That money that they allocated, the money that they generated, you know what I'm saying, through donations or whatever, or crowdfunding or whatever they did, it should go to the families that they promoted. If they promoted any families of any family members that was killed, some of these black men that were killed, unarmed black men were killed. Yes, they should give money to them. Because you can't
right?
sit up and you're gonna use my family member name in your protests and stuff like that, and you generating money off of it, you generating donations off of it, and you ain't donated nothing to my family in the name of my family member. That's a problem.
Hmm. You right. You right.
I mean, that's just plain and simple.
Well, well, I will say
So
this.
it so is the question is, so is this organization Black Lives Matter, is it really for Black lives, or is it for, you know what I mean? What is it for?
Remember what I just told you? Dr. Seuss has been
Hmm.
canceled because he's racist, but they want to replace Dr. Seuss with LGBTQ history, which is weird.
Wow.
It's kind of like, hello, like, what are we doing? And by the way, they don't even teach Black history in a lot of the schools. Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. They don't even teach that in a lot of schools, actually.
They don't. Especially a lot of southern schools, a lot of schools in the South. They don't teach Black history like that. Not like they would do maybe in the Midwest, or maybe, the East or something like that. They don't, unless it's like, it depends who's running the school system. You know what I'm saying, the principal or whoever what if they're in the teachers union, whatever, however they do their curriculums, and they set up their plannings for the upcoming school year and stuff like that. If they don't have that stuff on the calendar for what I mean, then they could probably blame it on this pandemic, that they didn't have enough time to prepare nothing, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna use that as an excuse. But there's no excuse. You know what I mean? My son, I asked him, what did y'all do any papers on any prominent Black figures due to Black History Month? Did they have any assemblies or any type of events at your school to promote Black history? He told me no. And the school is majority black kids, and the teachers. The teachers, I think the principal is a Black principal. So I'm like, okay, hold on, what's going on?
Well, I can tell you what's going on with that. I can tell you what's easily going on with that, bruh. Because if you really look at it in a context of the situation, you're gonna notice that Black history is diluted down, and the BLM wants the first week of Black History Month to be devoted to them. So they want rainbow flags and all that. So
Now, are they going to now? That's see, and see, that's the big stage you on now. You asking for a lot now. Now, if this is in honor of Black lives, right? It's because it's Black Lives Matter movement. Or are you going to donate their money to schools, um, underprivileged schools, where there's majority Black kids there? Or are you going to donate the money that you generate to these Black schools to help them get up the par, to get their school structure up the par, to get their learning materials, literature, the books, what I mean, the desks, um, computers, technology. Are they going to donate money and funds to these schools where it's majority Black kids or whatever? Because that's where it starts at. If you say Black Lives Matter, that's where it started. You got to teach the kids that if Black life will matter, they got to see that reflection. And a lot of these kids, in these underprivileged or these, neighborhoods and these school systems, they not seeing it. Some kids, they got to go. They living in their neighborhood, in their zip code. Some of them got to go to the so-called the white schools. You know what I mean? Or they got to, you know what I'm saying? They might have to go to the white schools just to so-called get a better education. Now who fault is that then? If we got leaders, right, our government leaders on the state and local level, why do we have that problem?
You're right.
If Black Lives Matter,
Mm.
why do we have that problem?
Well, I just told you down here in Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
we had a guy who asked about the state of the children and going to
Mm-hmm.
college in Virginia Union, and he said the college students don't even ask for Black history in the school. He said it ain't on the curriculum because we don't want it or we don't ask for it. That's what he
Now,
said.
is he a student? He's a student that went to this college you
Hell
talking
no, he
about,
a
or
white
he's a
teacher.
now? Now let me ask him. Now, what I would have asked him is, these are students. You are supposed to be a leader. You're in a leadership role, right? He's a teacher at school, right?
Yeah.
You are a leader, so it's your job to teach the kids their history. So that's BS. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to say, hey, you know what? Let me teach these kids. I got a majority of Black kids. Let me teach them something about their real history. And we're not talking about slavery history. We're talking about before slavery. That's the problem. They keep teaching us this slavery history, and they don't ever teach us nothing before that. They may throw one or two people in or something like that, but they don't really teach us nothing before slavery, us as so-called Black Americans. That falls on the leadership. These teacher unions and all these professors, these colleges, universities, that falls on them. You say you're supposed to educate. Well, let's educate then. Right? Let's really
Yeah.
educate the kids then. Don't say the kids don't want it. Hell, kids don't want to eat vegetables, but you as an adult or a parent, you're supposed to lead them and say, hey, look here, you can't eat all this candy. Stop playing, man. I don't play I don't play them games with people, man. You call yourself an adult, you call yourself a leader, you call yourself a professional, and that was a statement you made. They don't want it. Come on, man.
Well, let me say that.
They don't
Well, let's
want it.
go
They
back.
don't want it because you know why? Most of them, if they do give it to it, it's gonna be watered down. It's gonna be coming out of slavery. Don't nobody want to keep learning about no slavery, man. Come on, man. What was y'all smart? Y'all educated. Teach us about before slavery. Come on, man.
Well, let me say this. Well, that's why I call council the council culture, because the council culture is coming. It's vicious. It's coming, just like it happened to our friend with her little debacle. It could happen to anybody. So you got to be ready to stand up and fight these back, because they getting real, but they really Nazis for real, or for a better word of speaking. People just don't know what they are, and they come in fast in a hurry. So you got to fight them back.
I mean, but that's a problem, man. Because think about it. In this school system, a lot of people don't talk about it, like you said, like they're supposed to on the level they do. We just send our kids to these schools, and we think that these teachers are supposed to be all right and doing the right thing. And you know what I mean? We not getting it. A lot of our kids, it's boring. They've been teaching the same old curriculums for years. The same old studies we studying for years. We study the same old stuff over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The graduation numbers have been dropping over the years, man. Come on now. A lot of this stuff they don't talk about on a mainstream level, man. They tell you, man, they want to promote your kids, go to school, get a good education, go to college, be successful. But if you're not teaching me my origin, how can I be successful if you're not teaching me my origin or where I originally came from? You teaching me just, you know what I mean? And you don't have people that even so if you don't know that information and you don't know how to teach it, then won't you bring people in that know how to teach it to the kids and know how to get the best out of the students? That's the teacher's job, is to get the best out of their student, right?
That's right.
You're supposed to get the best out of your student.
Yeah. Let me see something right quick. I want to see something. Now also the council culture is also with COVID too, because they try to shame people for not wearing masks and this, that, and the third. Don't be around a person, they're not doing this and that. Look, we don't need idiots trying to run our lives. If you believe Fauci, I feel sorry for you. Trust the science and trust your body. If you eat right, you can beat anything. By the way, you know about eating right, so go ahead and explain it.
Well, like you said, man, once we get in our minds and our heads that, like you said, sugar is the number one. I'm gonna say it again. Sugar is the number one drug in America. You know what I mean? Once we get
That's
that
right.
in our minds and get that set right, okay. So what is sugar? Where did it come from? How is it processed? And how did it get it? It's in everything. Sugar is in meat. It's in processed meat, cured meat. Sugar's in bread. They got cereal. Everything is sugar. Even our drinks got a lot of processed sugar in it. Now you may get some drinks that may have be a natural sweet that comes from, like you said, the fruits and vegetables and stuff. Fruits with what I mean, like dates and stuff like that. Maple syrup, you know what I mean? Honey is a natural sweetener. You know what I mean? Some people say you're not supposed to eat meat. Well, I don't know, because the majority of our meat don't even eat meat. So they still haven't explained that to us. And they keep talking about protein. Now think about it. The majority of meat that we eat don't even eat meat, right?
You're right.
Now,
I know a cow don't eat no meat.
okay, but we eat cow, we eat beef, and we say getting the protein. So explain to me, where does the cow get its protein from? You know what I mean? This is me just doing, you know what I mean? Just researching and watching,
Okay.
watching around the scene. Where
Let me
does the
find
cow
out
get its
something.
protein from?
Let me see. What else do people eat? I don't eat shrimp. That's on the bottom of the ocean. That's a dirty
Shrimp,
animal.
turkey.
Turkey don't eat no meat. No, you know what? You might eat insects and shit. I don't know. Take that back. Because a bird might eat some meat. So I can't use him. But you know, but you're right, a lot of animals don't eat meat though. That is correct. So with that, let me say this. Shaq, he has a wonderful thing on counseling, the council culture. Anybody want to call in and accept Shaq some questions? Call in number 757-986-0160. Hold on, 757-986-0160.
Now,
Yeah, 0160.
okay. If we
My apologies. That's the number in the chat.
now
757-986-0160. But
now,
yeah.
BJ, let me ask you this question, BJ. If we're gonna play this cancel culture game, shouldn't we cancel all these organizations and these corporations and stuff that benefit from slavery? Shouldn't they be the biggest recipients of counsel? culture? If we're gonna play the cancel culture game, or no?
Yeah, I mean, like down here in Richmond, they taking down Jeff Davis Highway, making Richmond Highway, but I'm like, why y'all don't take the statue of Albert Pike, who was part of the Ku Klux Klan? I'm just trying to figure it out.
Mm,
I mean,
right.
you know, I mean, like, all these guys were like Masons and stuff, man. You mean, like what? I mean, why did we exclude certain people or not? You know, um, we don't want to exclude nobody, but but like I always say, when you're doing counseling, you got to be careful because you can be counseled too. Because we can come back and counsel you, and it's more us than them. They got
Right.
the dollars, but we got sense. Hey, Deuce, the factor checking in from South Central Los Angeles. They got the dollars, but we got the sense. Now, let me give out some shout outs to people. Because I do thank everybody that supports me, so I come and give them, their what they call donations, or donate to people who have supported me. So we got Sure Dawson, $ Sure 8106. You were dang, you donated me too. Dang, where your cash app at, man? Also helping ourselves to transform. That's $win love too. Gavin Rashad Esquire, $Gavin Rashad Esquire. $M Lauren X. Shaq 1981. That's your cash app, brother. Let's see. Mostly people from Texas. Mr. Valentine, $NYC MIA. Also with Dawson, you can donate to Black Gold Nation as well, to their organization in Texas. Also, Cooley, $run that ball. And of course, Valerie Denise Jones, Valerie Denise. Thank her for making my website and all that. Great brother Ronald, her $R2C2H2. And Queen A Shakur. And I also got to thank the Bishop, G. William 67. And somebody else I got too many people in here, man. Shit. Yeah, Dr. Randy Shue. That's it. And other people, among anybody else, if I forgot. I mean, Dana with the data. That's it. Mr. Hey, Robert Phillips, I forgot your cash app, man. But we'll get to it. Yeah, but I just want to say donate to all those people if you can. Monique 2C, possibly. She's great. Or $F Chapman. So I mean, I can't find everybody now. There's too many people. Too many, but I'm just giving shout out to people who support me. So, and donate to people in your city or whatever, because we all need each other. Because sooner or later, we probably gonna have to all put our money together and go against these cancel culture woke leftists. So, just trying to look out for everybody, because I don't know, man. It's looking, because a lot of people ain't looking out for you and this stuff. When you got family members that go against you, everybody go against you. Especially when it comes to this cultural Marxism bullshit.
Right. Yeah. Right. We're living in some serious times, man.
But I did want you to talk about one thing about your, what'd you say, heterosexuality matters? Heterosexuality matters?
Yeah, heterosexual matter. Heterosexuality matter.
Okay.
I just started, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, yeah. As of March 2nd, I'm going to start the heterosexual watch. It's going to be the heterosexual month. Started, March 2nd. I started it. I hashtagged it on my Facebook and stuff like that. So if anybody want to join, and want to represent their heterosexuality, just post the pictures with your lovely mate. You know what I mean? Throw your hearts up. You know what I mean? Uh, you know, got dates. You're going on a date. Video chat your date. You know what I mean? And put it on your social media page. And hashtag heterosexual matter.
Mm, that's right. Well, we're gonna, definitely, keep that message going. Anybody want to call in? Number 757-986-0160. But yeah. Well, I'm glad somebody saying heterosexual matters because I think that daggone people forgot that it mattered. I don't think people even really pay attention to it anymore. Um, I mean, they're kind of scared to speak out.
Yeah.
I understand why people are scared to speak out, but then again, I don't. Um, and I
You
think
call it cancel culture.
I think.
Uh,
Go ahead.
you call it cancel
Go
culture. I
ahead.
call it bully culture. Cause yeah, it's bully culture. Cause if I say I don't agree with it, that don't mean I hate nobody. It just means I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? And I want to do my thing. Can I do my thing? Or I'm supposed to be shamed from doing my thing? Come on now. You're not gonna shame me for wanting to do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And that seemed to be the problem with this so-called cancel culture. Like I said, if you don't agree, you know what I mean, with certain agendas, then they so-called want to cancel you or, you know what I mean, deem you as a certain person or whatever. That's supposed to be freedom of free speech, man. Freedom of choice. So if they got the right to, to choose, which I'm not saying they don't, why do not we do not have the right and freedom of free speech and choice? Right?
that's
Does our
right.
preference matter?
That's right.
I want everybody to ask this question on their Facebook if they really serious about getting equality and for all. You get a hashtag. Does my preference matter?
That's right.
That's the question. Does my preference matter? Because obviously it don't.
That's right. It's your preference matter. That's a good point you just made there. And obviously it doesn't today. Um, but I will say this that we gotta just like I said, we gotta push back and we gotta fight back with these guys because these guys are coming hard and coming fast. I'm kind of ready to push back on them in other ways. So you're starting off with the heterosexuality matters. That's a good way to start. Um, I ain't coming up with the hashtags. I just got to just do more videos and speak about it and talk about it. I'll probably go somewhere in the community and talk to some people about it, and
Hmm.
probably another state or something. Um, may go to Texas or Louisiana or something and talk about it, or go to DC. Actually, going to DC,
Right.
but DC might not make a lot of headway with the people I'm trying to meet out there because you got DC ain't nothing but a leftist town. So
Mm.
DC where all of them at. Shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I
like you said, man, a lot of people don't
conversation
like
with
to have
people.
the real conversations, right? And
That's
this
right.
these are real conversations that people have. They have in their household. They have with their family members. We trying to get understanding, right? We want to respect and understand everybody. So if you LGBT or whatever, and you want to be so-called respected and all that, then you got to respect us that don't want to participate in it. That's just plain and simple. There's no maliciousness to it. You know what I mean? There's no hate to it. There's no homophobia to it. It's just, hey, I don't want to, I don't want to participate in that. That's not my, and ain't no hate with it. You know what I mean? Ain't
Right
no hate
about that.
with it. And like you said, people keep saying, what is a conservative? What is a liberal? You know what I mean? What is it? A lot of these colleges are considered themselves
You
conservative,
say what?
but they still don't. Huh? What is a
You
conservative
hear
and
me?
what is a liberal? Huh?
I guess a conservative is somebody trying to conserve culture. A liberal is anything goes.
Well, hey, you can't. My thing is you can't be too conservative. And you can't be too liberal. You can't be no extremist in conservative, and you can't be extremist in you know what I mean liberation or whatever they calling themselves these days. Because liberation ain't liberation, right? Because who getting liberated? Explain that to me.
Sexual deviance.
Now we in 2021, right? And we still asking for reparations. Where the liberation at? Explain that to me.
Ain't no liberation.
Right? Now
Yeah.
you got pundits up there that's working, you know what I'm saying, in these certain organizations, you know what I mean? And if they just sitting on their hands and they not trying to provide us citizens or um people, people of the state, people of the culture, if you're not trying to provide equality for everybody, because we still trying to get human rights that still is being violated. Us as Black Americans here, or so-called Black Americans on this American soil, our human rights are still being violated. We shouldn't have to ask. If y'all already know what the situation is, we shouldn't have to ask for it. It should be automatically. Put it like this: a dog gonna have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. A dog gonna have to tell nobody that somebody is treating it wrong. If somebody see a dog getting treated wrong, they're gonna address the issue automatically. Plain and simple. Some, not all. Some. But righteous ones that are for righteousness would address it. If you see somebody being hurt, you're going to address it in the proper manner. And you got these people in
Mm.
administration now, the ball is in their hand. They cried and complained about the last administration, how you know what I mean, all the stuff was going on in the last administration. Now y'all up to bat now. Let's see how many home runs y'all gonna knock out the park, or is y'all gonna strike out? Now y'all on the clock. Democrats, y'all on the clock, man. Y'all in administration right now, y'all on the clock to fix this reparation situation. Y'all say y'all for um, equality, civil rights, and all that, but you still ain't said you for human rights. I challenge any person that's in the administrator right now to come out and say you're pro human rights for Black Americans. I challenge you.
All right, there you go. Because I'm about to say, I'm about to say, watch when you say human rights, because Human Rights Campaign is also the largest pro-gay advocacy group in the country.
No, I said for Black Americans, people that they say that was, you know what I mean? Because we ain't seen it. Anytime you can let a cop choke slam a young teenager, a young kid, beat and brutalize a kid on camera, and you justify it because you say they was acting within the law. That ain't human law. That's your law. That ain't human law. Human law would say, hey, you know what? This kid is acting up. This is a minor. For number one, let me call the parents, the custodial parents, and let's have a conversation. Why are we letting these so-called law enforcement officers? We can't even beat our kids like that. They would send child protective service if we beat our kids like that. The way these cops get off on beating our kids
That's right.
and children and stuff like that. That's a shame, man. That's a shame that we let that go on in this country. That is really a shame.
Well, I just want to tell you, brother. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing more shows on council culture. I want you to be safe in Texas, in Irving. You see anything, let me know. And I just want you to take your time. Somehow we get through this. It ain't gonna be easy, but some of us will get through it, and the other ones they just won't get through it. But I just want you to take your time.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your platform, man. You know, the circle you got going on. You guys are doing a very tremendous job. You're speaking from the other side. You know what I mean? You're not staying silent, like you said, because every voice matters. So if everybody else got the right to stand up and speak for their so-called civil and human rights, then we also have the right to stand up and speak for it too and voice our opinions. And my thing is, don't let nobody tell you, you know what I mean, just because this administration is in office now and you think that they're going to stand up and do the right thing, it's us as humans to keep our fingers on them and keep the pressure on them to make sure that they're going to stand up and do the right thing for us, because we so-called voted them in. They're supposed to be our representatives. They're supposed to represent us. So don't let them exclude you in these next 4 years of administration.
That's right. Well, yeah, you just take your time, brother. Now I give you a holler.
All right, man.
You
Take it
too.
easy.